So, the big question is this: how are entrepreneurs and real estate investors like us, ones who want to grow our businesses and who are tired of paying for really expensive alternative lending? How do we tap into the most inexpensive money available and do it without the hassle of typical borrowing? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. I'm Merrill Chandler, and welcome to the Are You Effable podcast. Hey everybody, Merrill Chandler here. I am so glad you have made it this far. We're into the 50s episode-wise, and I'm thrilled that you're here. So when we get back, we're going to be talking, we're going into the holiday season, and I got some shit to talk to you about. So I'll see you in just a second. Okay, welcome back. This is the Are You Effable podcast, and I'm here to tell you that we need to talk. All right. First, what triggered this for me was I was going through, we share posts and Instagram accounts among my team, et cetera. And I was going through my Instagram, and Brad Burnett, you've seen him on half a dozen episodes already. My partner in Get Fundable, and he had this little flow chart that he was sharing that was literally the answer to everything was be nice. So it said, is someone stressing you out? Yes, no, it's a little flow chart, etc. And then it says, be nice. Is something happening? Is somebody's driving, whatever, all these different examples and all these flow charts. And is someone disrespecting you? Is someone, not showing up? Whatever it was, the solution in the middle was be nice. Now, what has that got to do with the holidays? Well, here's the thing. I was out the other day, literally just driving the same place I always go. I was headed to a restaurant that I love, and there was like 400% more cars on the road than there were a week ago. We all know it. Wherever you live, you could be in Muskogee, Oklahoma, and there's going to be 4 times the traffic as we ramp up to the holidays than any other time of the year, right? Unless it's whatever, the 4th of July parade. But it was crazy. Now, I'm a Capricorn. For those of you who are recognize your own signs, I'm kind of a get it done guy, right? Checklists and productivity is my jam. Well, I'm kind of that way when I drive as well. And I just noticed that it started coming up inside of me that people were not driving as efficiently as they could. Now I'm being kind. We've all run into them. We've all been behind them. We've all commuted in the same space with these drivers who are different than us, to be kind. But I started to realize that I am expecting everyone else to act like me. I want everybody to be efficient. I don't want somebody just moseying along, enjoying their life. I want them to be driven like I am driven, right? Well, first of all, life, it takes all kinds. But this one, guys, so I ask you, why are you in the business that you're in? Why are you a real estate investor? Why do you buy notes? Why do you have franchises? Why are you in the business that you're in? Why, as an entrepreneur, why are you doing what you're doing? Why? Some of us do it because we love what we're doing. In fact, I just saw a great movie where the guy was giving a speech, and he starts out the speech, says, if you're doing every day what you love, you will never work a day in your life. I don't know where the quote originally came from, but it was awesome. And I love what I do. And while I'm passionate about it, as you guys know, the question comes up, Am I nice about it? Am I kind? How do I treat my team members? How do I treat my clients? How do I treat people I'm driving behind, right? How do I show up? Now, I know it's so cliche that we're going into the holidays, and now I say, let's be nice to each other, right? I get it. But I want us to kind of go to zero and explore. Remember, in this episode, we're not talking tech. We're talking what is our why behind our desire to get more money at the very best rates and the most amount we can get to fulfill our financial dreams, right? To accomplish our projects. Why are you doing it? Because if we lose sight of our why, then all of a sudden it becomes about, and I'm the guy who knows, it's all about our next checklist. It's about the next flip. Oh, it's about picking up that next franchise. Oh, what's the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And then we get so heads down that we stop feeling deeply our why. And when I have these moments, when I have these epiphanies, like I had when I was driving behind the car, triggered by Brad's Instagram share, I'm like, why am I doing this? Well, yes, I love it, but loving it isn't my why. So I'm going to go through that exercise for me, and I encourage you to go through that exercise for you. One of my whys is that I love when I'm talking to a live audience. And I've learned from your feedback from people who are sharing on the podcast and things, I also know it happens when I can't see your eyeballs. But when I'm in a live audience, I love when I watch the light go on. Like, what did he just say? Holy hell, what? What? That's possible? That moment, I live and breathe and do everything I do for that moment inside of you. The great aha. And you can have 2 or 3 of them per episode or per boot camp, or you can have dozens of them. I just know that I love lighting up human beings, clients, students, team members, friends, family. I love lighting up the soul of the human condition to get that there's more, to celebrate the wins, big or small, to celebrate the damn wins. So I had an experience. You guys will love this. Here in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have my daughter on my podcast. I've shared her story, a number of different parts of her story, a number of different times, but I was so excited because she's a millennial, and we built her credit profile from the ground up, from zero, right? But when I asked her if she would like to be on my podcast to share her story as a young woman, right? Married, 2 children. Yes, I have grandchildren. 2 children, one amazing husband. They have a great life. I actually kid her. I'm like, Sharon, you're the parent that I always wanted to be when I watch them. I don't know if that hurts her feelings or she feels like she missed out. But when I reached out to her and asked her to be on my podcast, she was thrilled. She said that she was honored, and we'll get into that story more when she comes on in a week or two. But the thing is, that's a huge part of my why. Is I've helped my children, each in their own way and along their own path, understand how this game is played and create amazing results for themselves. But what I loved, my why, was seeing her light up. That I'll let her tell you what it was for her, but that I wanted her on my podcast, and she was honored by that. How are we relating to our loved ones? Are we beating the crap out of them when they're in our way to get our next item on the checklist done, guys? Are we angry at them? Are we stressed? What is their quality of life? Because we're real estate investors and we got 5 flips to do this month, this quarter, this year. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Because if you don't remember what your why is, then you will lose touch with your why. How do I know? Because I have, and I do. So I'm going to challenge you on a Post-it note, on a card, something on your mirror in your bathroom, on somewhere where you will look at every day. Put your why on that Post-it note and just put the letter Y. Why? Question mark. And write down what it is. Because we say, I want to build a legacy for my family. But you know what? Our families would rather have time with us now than money from us later. So there's that. Are we letting our goals get in the way of our why? And there's that proverbial question, like, when I blank, I'll spend time with my family. When I'm blank, I'll spend time with my loved ones. When I'm blank, I'll have all the kids over for dinner. When, fill in the blank. When I'm successful, when I hit my $1 million mark, when I finish this house, when I finish the grand opening for my new franchise, when I when, and we put it off, guys. And I don't know about you, but I'm noticing that I keep getting older and I keep loving what I do, but how often am I spending quality time with my loved ones? So I'll tell you something that was a blast for me. And so my kids and I raised my kids on Star Wars. We are all fans. If you saw our family text chain, and my kids are bright. I mean, they are well read. They write well. They're great thinkers. I'm so proud of them. It's Sharon, Aaron, and Melissa, right? A boy between the 2 girls, Sharon, Aaron, and Melissa. Brilliant children. I'm just blown away sometimes. On these texts, they're seriously doing analysis, plot analysis, and character arc analysis, and all these things about all the different Star Wars, whether or not to include. So let me tell you what we're doing. Here in Salt Lake City, the Larry H. Miller does a on all the big franchises, right? They did it for Twilight. They did it for the Hunger Games. They did it for Harry Potter. But they have marathons up to the most recent episode. So Star Wars is coming out, right? The Last Jedi or whatever it's called, and they sponsored 24 hours. You could buy a ticket. It was $99, 24 hours to watch all of the old ones, and then the release on the release of the new Star Wars. We got on it. It was sold out before I could even get our tickets for our family. So what we decided to do is we're having our own. Everybody's coming over to my place. I got a 60-inch monitor, actually the very monitor that we use for all of our podcasts. I'm going to roll that out into the living room. All the grandkids, everybody, we're doing 24 hours on Christmas night, the 25th, through the 26th, and then the 7:30 showing. We're going to. Now, that's my why. I don't know, by hook or by crook, it all happened to come into play, and now my kids we're questioning what order to do it in. Do we do the chronological one? Do we do it the produced one? Whether or not to include what was it? Rogue One? Do we include the little out version? Amazing, right? That is my why. Those conversations, that 24 hours of just blazing through every single damn Star Wars that has ever been produced. What is your why? What is it that you love to do with your spouse, your children, your grandchildren, your friends, your ski buddy, whoever, whatever your life is? What's your why, and what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? Because I'm chastising myself because I haven't done enough. I haven't done enough. And whether we're going into a Christmas season or not, guys, spend time with your loved ones. And here's what's great. It's a cure-all. Promise you, it's a cure-all. If you are feeling, for some reason, if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling out of touch, if you are feeling like you're climbing a mountain that's a little much for you to handle right now, I ask you, I beg you to call up Volunteer USA. Call up your local food kitchen. Here at St. Vincent's, there's a place I can call right now to St. Vincent's, and I can go down there and I can feed and be part of the food line that feeds the homeless and those who are in the shelter. What can you do to serve others? And your heart will be filled. So whether you're happy and mirthful and full of joy and passion and deliciousness, or whether you're a little down, a little discouraged, or a little under the weather, there is a way for you to get in touch with your why. And usually it means taking care of somebody who's just a little less favorable conditions than you're in. If you got a roof over your head, but you're depressed out of your mind, then go serve, go talk to, go love someone who doesn't even have a roof over their head. I could say this in August and April, but I'm saying it now. Know your why, invest in your why with as much passion and fervor and checklistiness as you invest in your goals to get your why. Invest in your why. Invest in your loved ones. Love the hell out of them. And I'll podcast you. I'll send Instagrams of me with my tribe, and we're gonna and kind of share with you the 24 hours. That's what I'll do, Sky. I'm gonna remind me. I'm going to record all of just send some Instagrams through that whole 24 hours at 3 a.m. Here we are at at each one of the episode, each one of the movies as they begin. But guys, find yours, love your people, and serve no matter how lowly you feel your station is in life, how discouraged you may be, or how grand and glorious your station in life. Find someone who is less fortunate than you and serve them, love them, take care of them, do something for them. And I promise, just like the your heart will grow 3 sizes too big. This is Merrill Chandler challenging you to fill your heart with love by filling your time with your loved ones. Have a beautiful morning, evening, or afternoon. Hey guys, thank you for listening to Are You Effable? Please leave comments because I would love to read about your aha moments from this episode. And be sure to visit fundinghackers.com to view the blog post, get important links, join our community, and much, much more. And you gotta tell your friends about this podcast. We want them to become effable too.